Hello everyone and welcome to a unique video. Today I asked the question, is it possible to beat Robot 64 on Roblox without jumping? Robot 64 is a 3D platformer game where the goal is to gather ice creams and destroy the sun. While I was doing the challenge, I did not search up anything on YouTube in order to cheat, so this is all my experience. I will go through every world in the game and show you how I did the ice creams or how I failed them. And before we start, I have to go through what I count as a jump. So what I count as a jump is an action done by the spacebar that looks like a jump. So swimming up in water, shooting the sun, and even wall jumps are allowed, since wall jumps can also be performed by pressing the E key. And these are the ones that are not allowed. Jumps, double jumps, backflips, and long jumps. Now that we're done with that, let's get into the challenge. Firstly, the tutorial was a breeze, with the only tricky part being the ground pound, which I luckily figured out in the end. We then get to the ice cream named You Can Jump, which is ironic since it can be easily done by diving. So we get then into turtle tops. I will go for every ice cream and see if they are possible or not. Beebo wings in the sky is possible. The wings do not require any jumps to be used, though when I was attempting to get the ice creams I died and then I landed on a pole. You can only leave a pole if you jump, so I was in a bit of a pickle here, so I had to go back to the hub and do it all over again, where I then grabbed the ice cream. Always wash your hands wasn't that hard. Through both diving, holding onto ledges, and spinning made me able to complete it. Hunting 8 eggs underwater was simple, since jumping here is impossible. Catching fireflies and turtle tops looked to be impossible at the start, since I couldn't wall jump up the lighthouse, but by using the wings I flew up and grabbed the jar. So I then successfully grabbed the rest of the firefly. I accidentally threw the jar off the cliff. So I redid the entire challenge and grabbed the cream. Climbing the purple tower is simple enough in the beginning, but then we reach this platform which is impossible to reach. I can't dive up it or anything. I can't go around it and then run up the wall, so this is the first failed mission. Across the spinning platforms was really easy. The only thing that could have messed me up was if I stepped on this rope, because I would have then had to reset, but I avoided it and got the ice cream. And lastly, we have a tread to the top of turtle tops. It's really easy to get to the top, but to get the ice cream, you have to get on the flagpole, which would not make me able to jump off. So this is also one that's not possible. So overall in turtle tops, there are 5 possible ice creams. To continue through the observatory, I need 3 more ice creams, so it's now time for Naughty Resort. In the infested maze, it's not that difficult since the monsters there can be killed by diving, except the guards who are unkillable in this area. So I just had to lure them out of the way to be able to get to the ice cream. A Hungry Blackhole can be done by diving and throwing the item into the hole, and all the items can be easily found with no complications. The ice cream does spawn a bit high in the sky, but by wall jumping you can get the ice cream. Scoring radical points is not that hard. Jumping is not required since it doesn't really add that much to your score, but by spinning constantly will award you the ice cream. Floating with flowers is already difficult. The flowers are so high up in the air, not making me able to get up there, so I then tried skateboard, which also did not help me. But I was then reminded of a strat, wall spinning. It's when you run on a wall, fall off, spin, and then repeat. Doing that makes me able to reach the platforming segment itself, which is then impossible. I had a hard time going through the flowers, but I managed to pull it off, though you have to get on a pole, which you know is death trap, so this is not achievable. The Naughty Showdown is a boss battle that is not that difficult. Avoiding the projectiles is not difficult, and damaging Naughty can be easily done by spinning, so it's possible. The guard's go for a dip is really easy to pull off jumpless, since both using the skateboard or just spamming dive can make it really easy to reach the water, making this possible. And lastly is up on the chompin' dudes. It's pretty simple, just by timing your dives makes the last cream of Naughty possible. So in Naughty Resort, 6 out of 7 ice creams were possible. This gives me 11 ice creams, making me have more than enough to pass through the 8 ice cream door to then reach the Hecklands. Firstly is lava and water, which is already tricky since I can't reach this portal. I actually also accidentally got onto the tree, so I had to rejoin. Though diving down from the mountain and spinning makes me able to reach the portal. It's pretty easy from there since you only have to go through the water, but you have to jump to get out of the water, though luckily you can also dive out of the water, so it doesn't count as a jump. So I get the ice cream. Going down the dark hallway is not possible. The portal is also in a tree, making me unable to reach it. Tricky jumps and dives is not possible. The platforms are way too far away to be able to reach just by diving. I even tried with a skateboard, which didn't help, so this is not possible. Hunting 8 eggs in Hecklands is simple at first, but then reach an egg in a tree, which I can't reach, making this as well impossible. The Hecklord Showdown is not difficult to reach, and the boss fight is neither. His attacks are easy to dodge, and you only need to touch him to deal damage, making this possible. Messing with old Job only really requires spin attacks, making it not hard. The ice creams even spawn on the ground, making me not have to do anything extra to collect them. Lastly is racing to the top of Hecklands, which is another racing level, which isn't possible because of how racing ice creams work. So overall, in the Hecklands, there were 3 possible ice creams. This is the smallest amount so far, and I only need 1 more to progress. So let's hope the next stage has any possible ice creams. So I enter Candy Aquarium. I will also remind you that going into this, I did not expect it to be hard, since it was almost all water segments where jumps are impossible. But it actually turned out to still be really easy. Hunting 8 eggs in Candy Aquarium. Jumps are impossible, so it was easy to complete. Making the longest jump possible. No. In the water chunks was easy at the platforming segments, but became a bit tricky in the water chunk part since I had to be careful to dive. And the ice cream took me a while to reach, but I did it in the end. Breaking a box with Brentos is way too easy. You only have to drop a Brento on the box and then you get the ice cream. Messing with old Job is another section in water, making it easy. Jumping from Grape Soda was only a bit challenging because of me having to dive out of the water. And lastly is Hermit Gloobees problem, which is easily done by spinning. So overall, 6 out of the 7 ice creams in Candy Aquarium is possible. Everything was really easy, except the one that had the longest jump possible in the tile, which just made me give up. So now that I have 21 ice creams, I go through the 16 door, and then I also go through the 20 door and enter Tinyhuge bedroom. Filling out homework does not require any jumps at all to complete, so it's easily achievable. Returning a dice block was actually a bit challenging to complete. The dice was on the top of a shelf, so I had to wall jump up behind it to reach the dice. And reaching the ice cream itself was not hard. In swinging with warriors, you have to jump to get off the warriors, and you're unable to dive, making me unable to get onto the first warrior, which makes this not possible. Setting up the computer only requires you to put the contact and step on a keyboard, which makes this way too easy. Up on the shelf looked to be hard, but by wall jumping up the drawer and diving onto the bed makes me able to reach the cream. Next we have hunting 8 eggs in Tinyhuge bedroom, which was so difficult. The first problem was the fact that when trying to get up the shelf, I couldn't find a way. I tried going in first person, diving from the upper shelf, diving from the desk. I kinda just gave up on it until later returning to complete it. I won't show how many creams I have at this moment, I'm just saying that I later found out how to do it. What I did was to incorporate the wall spinning method, which made me able to reach the egg segment. I got through all the eggs until I got to the cream, which was difficult to reach, but I managed to do it. Lastly was playing Beebo's theme on piano, which is easier with jumps, but it only took me more time when I didn't use jumps, so it was easy. So overall, 6 out of 7 ice creams in this map were possible. So now I enter New Neocity. On the fan blaze was easy to complete since I only needed to hold down shift. Flying through the sky looked to be really difficult at the start since the wings were so high up in the sky, but I was able to reach the wings by wall jumping up these buildings. The rest of the challenge isn't hard because jumping isn't possible in these circumstances, so I get the cream. Racing to the top of New Neocity is another bunny racing one, which has already happened 2 times previously, which is of course not possible. Catching Fireflies in New Neocity looked to be easy at first since I knew what mistakes I shouldn't do compared to the last time. But it turned out that some of the Fireflies were on a tightrope, which you know I can't jump off. I tried to catch them, but I didn't pull it off until I realized Kevin put another Firefly on the ground, making me able to get the cream. Corner jumping upwards was pretty simple since I only had to wall jump, but it was actually difficult to figure out how to do it at first. Until I realized that just wall jumping and diving was the strat, so I got the cream. Next is short jumping around. You're not allowed to dive or do anything like that here. I got further than I thought, but then I got stuck right here, so it's not possible. So lastly, we have above the wall, which can be easily reached by using the wings. Overall, 5 of the 7 creams were possible, and now I have 31 ice creams and I need 32! Uh-oh! No, this is probably going to go pretty badly. And then I realized there are many ice creams I missed in the hub, so I will collect them now. The secret of the mirror. It's easy if you know what to do and does not require any jumping. Getting on top of the observatory can also be easily done by doing the wall spinning method. And in between that, I get the 8 eggs in Tinyhuge bedroom. And now I have all the creams I need, so I can now enter Planet Kebablon. Now I could just enter the finale, but I'm going to see all the possible creams and the challenge on the planet. Hecklan's challenge. It starts off with you being in an egg hunting segment, and the first one is in a tree where you have to climb up it like a pole. No thanks. Turtletop's challenge. Diving up on this platform is not possible, so Nutty's Resort challenge. The start is really easy, but then we get into the skateboard segment. It's another segment on ropes which you know will go greatly. I tried it on all the paths with and without the skateboard. Did not succeed. Candy Aquarium challenge. Since Candy Aquarium was originally the easiest map in the entire game, I had high hopes for this and luckily it was possible. The water segments weren't hard, but the end was a bit tricky, both the platforming itself and attempting to dive out of the water, but I did it. And now we have final home run. How do I think I do on the hardest thing in the entire game? I failed obviously, though I got pretty far. I was able to use the wall spinning methods on some parts, but it's when I reach this lava section where it becomes not possible for me. The section might be possible, but I found no way around it. Tinyhuge bedroom challenge. You only need to slide here, making jumps not necessary, so it's possible. Lastly is new Neocity challenge. Okay, you can't dive here at all, so we're done. So overall, 2 of the 7 ice creams in the stage are possible. This is the smallest amount of creams possible in any stage so far, but now we are ready for the final showdown. You can't really jump in this one, so there aren't really any stakes. You can't jump in this stage obviously, but when the first time I was playing this stage, I was really bad. This took a long time to beat, so let's see how it went. The first one went pretty badly. I died in the middle of the stage because of all the projectiles. And in the second attempt, I got actually pretty far. I got to the stun, but then I was overwhelmed by projectiles. And on my final attempt, I get through successfully, do the final blow, and there. I beat Roblox 64 without jumping. This was a really fun challenge, which I enjoyed a lot. I want to do this type of video another time. Also, when I was done with this challenge, I searched up this challenge on YouTube and it turned out all the racing ones were possible, but this video is already long enough. Also, I'm not coughing up 250 Robux for the DLC stages. I hope you enjoyed this, and I just wanted to thank you so much for watching, and goodbye.